What's happening? Reality After Show. We are back. 99 to beat coverage, and boy, do I have a party in the house. I don't even know where to start here, folks, but I'm just listing off names from what the direction I see it. We have May, we have Dee, we have Yoshi, we have Michelle, and we have Queen Sandra from Survivor. How is everybody?
Great.
Wow, I am so excited that you're all here tonight because listen, y'all all wanted to be here for a reason, and I'm just going to hit it right with that. Talk to me about this squad right here. I know you're very close with each other, so I want to hear about it.
All right, so we all met, and I met all these amazing people in the lobby of our hotel. The first day I got there, I became a fungus and invited myself to London with them. They waited a few minutes for me to go upstairs and get dressed, and then we were literally stuck together the rest of the time. I've never met any of them. I didn't even know who Sandra was until literally that night when May was like, do you not even know who she is? And I'm like, no, who is she? She's like, she's won Survivor twice. And I was like, oh, okay. Literally. That was how I met everybody.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest stories, at least for me, was when Michelle and I met Sandra for the first time, because Michelle and I had met at the airport, came into the hotel. We were sitting in the lobby waiting for another person to come down to come into London. And one of the producers looks up and he goes, oh, here comes Sandra. And I just thought it was some lady named Sandra because we had yet to see a lot of the cast yet. And around the corner walks Sandra Diaz-Twine. And if you are a reality fan, like that is an out-of-body experience for you, especially getting this moment, like finally making it onto a reality show, and then to have an icon walk around the corner and it's just all these emotions go through you. I literally stood up, full government name, was like, Sandra Diaz-Twine. She was like, do I know you? I was like, no, I know you. And the rest is history.
I meet so many people that a lot of times I'm like, have we met? Or you know what I'm saying? And they'll correct me. Luigi and I had met. I remember his face looked familiar, but I didn't know from all the things I go to where I had met him. So he was like, we got a picture. I've met you before. I'm like, okay.
Michelle, Yoshi.
Yeah, no, I mean, when May popped up, I was just kind of like, I know you. I know her, and you know, same thing. And I was like, oh no, you don't know me, but I've watched exactly 3 seasons of Survivor, and you won the first one I ever saw, because it's Diane's favorite show. And she's like, let's watch this. Let me introduce you to my reality shows. And I was like, okay. And here she is, and I'm like, oh my gosh, a day later, you're never getting rid of me because I love you. You're awesome.
And Yoshi, your story.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the same boat with Dee. I don't really watch a whole lot of reality shows or anything, so I was kind of the same as like, hey, is it cool if I tag along and, you know, go travel around London with you guys? And then before I could even finish my introduction, I remember Sandra gave me a tissue and was like, you got a little booger hanging out. And I was like,
I probably said,
like, all right, thank you. You're a real one. Like, I like you a lot already.
That's one thing people don't understand about Sandra. I said this somewhere else. I said, you know, for being who she is, being around her, you would never guess she is who she is. You know, it's like, you know, we're walking in London and a fan comes up to her and I'm like, we're in London. And somebody just went up to her for a picture. Like, and she's like, I don't know why they do that. I'm like, you don't know why they do that? I'm like, but she's seriously that person. Like, she's the most down-to-earth person in the world. And it's just like, you would never, ever expect it to be any other way. So
it's got to be a really diehard Survivor fan, because a lot of times I think when they do a double take, they're like, where do I know her from? Like, it doesn't click right away. Yeah. But if they're like diehard Survivor, then the whole thing, like May, Sandra Diaz-Twine, like it's the whole name. So,
well, the lady that stopped us though in London was like, you were just on Traitors. I know your voice. So I mean, like, don't let her fool you and act like she is not a big deal. She's a big big deal, and people do know her. But I like Dee said, I mean, Sandra, you're a real one, and I think that's why everybody likes you so much, because you are super down to earth and chill and just, you know, very nice, which you don't always run into.
No. Nope.
Thank you, guys. Fab Five forever.
And on that note, I have to say goodbye to the Fab Five. I love you guys.
Love you
and we will
guys.
catch up
Love
later.
you.
Enjoy your concert. Bye,
Enjoy your
Shelly.
Thanks, Michelle, for coming. Sandra's probably like, we can end the podcast right now. I mean, they said everything. I'm all set. We're all good.
Like, I'm good. Like, thank you.
No.
But we're not going to.
Yeah. No.
Because I want to talk about the very first episode. And we're going to start right from square one before even the first challenge. You're standing in the circle. You see all the balloons. And right before the buzzer goes off, how are y'all feeling?
Full of anxiety.
I had butterflies. I was like, please find a balloon with a leg.
I think there was like 500 balloons, they said, and then there was 100 of us. So we were like, how is this about to happen?
For me, it was like, and I think everyone else felt this way too, like, this was our first challenge. So it's like no one wanted to be out first. So it was like the most anticipation we had. We had no idea what the buzzer was going to sound like. We didn't know that the lights were going to go off like they did. So I know I was like in my running stance. I don't do cardio and I'm in heels at this point. In my running stance, like just waiting. And all of a sudden the lights go off and I'm like, oh, what's that? And then everyone around me is running forward. So that was my experience.
It was like scary. That buzzard is no joke, especially the first time, because, you know, what people don't see is we're not just there and it happens. We're there for like, you know, 45 minutes, an hour, like just waiting. They're like, it's going to start. And you're like, all right. And then it doesn't. And then you're like, we're going to start. And then it doesn't. And when you do, it goes off. You like freeze and then you just run. And it's just like, you don't know what to expect. You see all these people. Imagine 100 people coming in at the same time. You just feel like somebody's going to die. Like, it's a lot. You have a lot of thought in your head when you're running.
What about you, Yosh?
For me, I was like, I think I was the last one to move. Because once that buzzer went off, people started running and I'm like, oh, it's happening. So I was like, my body did not understand what to do. So I was like, oh, shoot, I got to go. You know, it was nerve-wracking.
Yoshi, wasn't that when I grabbed you too?
Oh yeah, because I was trying to help Danny.
So when the balloons dropped, I am actually the last one to move because I move slow at everything. And I was like, I'm just gonna let the balloons land towards me. And I popped like 3 or 4 and got the leg right away. And I start to do my circle to exit the area and go to where you have to stand. They give you specific instructions. This is where you stand once you have your leg. You can't help anyone. I run. I see Yoshi. He has his lane. He's like, wait, I got to go help her. And I'm like, you can't help nobody. You have to go to the area where you're supposed to stand because that's the first thing they said. Follow the instructions.
And they said it so many times. We don't want to repeat. Just please listen. Follow the rules. Blah, blah, blah.
Don't start strategizing before we're done talking. And there he goes.
Yeah. I was like, oh, let me go. So I almost got eliminated before we even started.
I said, no, you don't do that.
Thank God for Sandra.
Yeah, the rules they're very strict with the rules. So like that's another thing. So you're just, you know, first you're waiting, then you're going, then you're in your head. Like, okay, let me not do something wrong because like, it's a lot. Like it's fun to watch, but the thoughts that were in our heads and our hearts, like we were crazy. It was crazy.
Well, and then I have to touch on this. Boom! Janice taken down. Reactions, I need them.
I was like, oh my God, Janice, like, was she okay? Because we had to stay in our safe zone. Like, we couldn't go out there. And then they just kept playing. So we assumed everything was okay.
Yeah.
I was so focused on Geraldine that I didn't even see Janice fall. I didn't see anything. I was just like, Geraldine, because she comes from Traders. We had just been on a cruise together 2 weeks prior. So I know Geraldine, and I was like, oh my gosh, she was first out on Traders. She can't be the first out on 99 to beat.
Yeah, because as a viewer, it was so intense because I'm sitting there going, she got up from it, which I was shocked by because it was a hard fall.
It was.
And
It looked worse on TV too, on her face.
I'll see her chin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look worse on TV.
I mean, first game, that's right. If you're going with a bang right there, but let's touch on game number 2, which is the ice blocks. Who wants to start on that one?
Sandra?
It took forever to get this whistle out of that block of ice. I was in total panic mode, and I felt like I was in the bottom 10, but then watching it play out on TV, I guess I wasn't.
You were close there, girl. You were pretty close to the bottom. You had a whole bunch of seconds.
Panic mode. Panic, like, oh my God, it can't be this ice cube that does me in. And then I didn't want to, everyone screaming like, put it in your mouth. And I didn't want to go that route. I was rubbing it anywhere, everywhere, my socks, my waist. I didn't. And then someone said stick, like once I saw a little groove, then I started putting like my tongue in the little groove and just focusing on the little whistle part instead of the whole ice cube, where it looked like some people focused more on the entire ice cube instead of just zeroing in on the whistle.
Right. I went in, and first thing I was doing before we even started, we were all like preparing for it. People were doing jumping jacks. People were like just doing stuff. I was doing like salsa dancing, rubbing my thighs together, because as us Puerto Ricans, we got thighs. So I said, that's going to be the way I do this. So as soon as that buzzard rang, I literally went down Indian style, all calm. And I'm like rubbing my thighs and rubbing it. And then I'm getting close, and I see May come running by, and she goes real quietly, but specifically, use your chin, and keeps running. So I was like, what? And then I was like this, and I just start rubbing it on my chin, like as fast as I could. And that came right out. I was like, yes, but it was so funny because she's like, use your chin. But the way she did it, it was just like the fastest like run by. I'm like, love you. I love you for that.
Yeah, I'm actually really sad they didn't show this. So what happened when I started is I immediately like pulled up my shirt, pulled down my pants, was like washboarding my abs with the ice, and I'm on the side, like I'm on the side of the circle. I see this cameraman just like swoom in, like as I'm rubbing it on my stomach, and I look at it and I go, I'm so sorry, Mom. And I really thought that was gonna make the cut, and I'm sad that it didn't. But I really thought it was going to be like my hips and my thighs that would melt it a lot faster. But once I started going to town on my neck and my chin to get into those little grooves like Sandra was talking about, that's when
Marcus,
it really started
the door.
Oh, okay. There's Yoshi back. But one other thing that happened is because I used my neck, I had a bruise on the side of my neck for like the next 2 days, and it looked just like a hickey, and it was so embarrassing because they had me put my hair up in a ponytail, so there was no way I was hiding that. So if you see it on the episode, it's from the whistle. It's not anything else. I'm
okay.
It's hard not to panic, like what Sandra said. You know, like I was next to Frank, the clown, and we're like, there's still 98 of us. It's gonna be fine. Like, let's, you know, no matter what, stay calm. And then all of a sudden, you hear all this whistle go, and then my cool, calm, collected mentality went right out the window. I was panicking. I was using my feet, and then from my feet, I was using my mouth, and then on my face. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
We see too as viewers, someone got it so quickly. Obviously, we know it's not that fast, but I was like, wow, that was very quick. Obviously, there's editing involved still, but even so, compared to everybody else.
Right. Oh, yeah. There's some, you know, obviously also we were all looking at each other's ice like, your whistle looks like it's like on top, or your whistle is in the middle. And that's what everybody kept saying. Mine was all the way in the middle. Mine was at the end. We're just like, was it really though? Like, I ain't lying. I think mine was right. So, I mean, it took a while for sure. Like, it wasn't a fast game. I mean, and obviously whoever got out for like whoever was safe first was lucky, but you know, like I said, it, like we all said, it was very difficult because as calm as you start, once you start hearing those whistles, you're like, oh, this is not good. So,
and then we have a couple of like, you know, ice cubes.
Wait, hold on. Say that
Hold
again
on.
because you
Start again,
broke up
Sandra.
like crazy.
I said, didn't some people get penalized when their ice block touched the floor?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or it
Yeah,
slid?
I had a
couple of
penalty.
penalties.
So if you
What?
dropped your ice at all,
Yeah.
you got a 3-minute penalty where you had to stand there and you couldn't touch your ice at all. And if it dropped and broke so much that it gave you an advantage, they gave you a new block of ice.
Yeah. Like they didn't play with these games. Like the girl that was sitting there when they're like, "Where's hers?" That she had a penalty because she had used, I think she used her teeth. You can't use your teeth either. So.
And 3 minutes has to feel like an eternity, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. I got a penalty and I was there like jogging and the ref was just right in front of me and I was like, "Hey, like how much time do I have left?" And they have to stay
Oh, that's brutal.
solid days. So it's crazy.
That's wild. And I want to jump ahead to the next game because, wow, some of the items they had in the weigh-ins. Let's talk about those.
Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, D.
I know, right? Like it's me. So I was freaking out, like watching the European version. I said, "That's the one that's gonna get me. I'm scared. I hope they don't do it." So when we saw the scales, I was like, "Oh man!" So I was like freaking out. But then I do events and planning, and when I saw the cactuses come out, I'm like, "I got this. I got 2 of those right there. I got this. I got this." So my little butt just confidently went right to the center, and I had no doubt. I was like, "This is it," and it was. And then I was safe, but I was still scary. It was still scary.
Were all of y'all in the middle?
I was. I think we were.
Yeah, I think we were actually.
The
I
first
actually
one.
I was on whatever the far right one was, and then I hear Michelle yell my name, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm coming."
You're like, "Here I go."
I was like, I'll just go with the majority.
And that's the thing with these games too. In the beginning, we're like, "Come on, we all have to," like, we're cheering for each other. And like everybody, you know, we bonded. So wherever, if somebody was last, we ran in and we were just like, you know, trying to like help them and like scream for them and everything. And, you know, but like that, you know, it's hard when you're like here by yourself and then you hear somebody and you're like, "Well, they're looking out for me, so let me go over there." But it's like, it's scary. You just don't know what to think at that moment. So.
Can we talk about why everyone kept saying, "Oh, the firefighters got this"?
Huh.
We thought they were
It was-
smart.
I think it was because they're so used to carrying. They work out, they carry body, you know. So I think they had the advantage, but you know, clearly it didn't work out.
I was laughing because all we hear, firefighters have to know this one. Oh, they didn't get that one. This is now the round they're going to get it.
Yeah.
And they waited to that very last. So
Yeah. Yep.
And that's intense in itself, even because if you're the bottom 4 in that sense, having to come up with that number and people probably aren't thinking, "Oh, I need to keep track of every single item, what area it was in," and then having to do the math all the way at the end.
Right.
right.
It would have been done.
Yeah, the smartest thing with that challenge would have been just to always be with the biggest group so you eventually get out of there versus going up against anyone at the end.
Yeah.
That camel was
Definitely.
surprising. I mean,
And I think the most exciting part of that challenge was when the camel used the restroom on
A
the
lot.
scale
A lot.
while it was waiting.
A lot. We were not allowed to scream, clap, talk loud, but it would poop, and the poop. Like a lot of the facials you saw wasn't, "Oh my goodness, they're almost out." It was, "Oh my God, why does it keep doing that?" It was so bad. And it was, and then they kept feeding it. And you're like, "Could you stop feeding it?" And then when they move it to the side, when they're like finally trying to add everything up, they're in my spot. And I'm just watching it poop and pee in my spot. And I'm like, "Please say this is good luck. Like if you get pooped on by a bird," because it was horrible. It was
Like,
bad.
almost not a
It stunk
burn.
forever. I need everybody to understand that, okay? It was bad.
And then the next challenge was the spaghetti noodle one. And whoever, I was like, please don't put my table next to where all that camel was.
Yeah.
We had a wellness team. So basically, it's a set of like 15 people that are there for us whenever we need anything. And I'm like, wellness? And they're like, yeah. I was like, we need this clean because it's not working for us. So they did. They went in and did a full deep clean. And we're like, thank you, God. Because it was bad.
Let's talk about the penny challenge because you saw some people struggle, but some people did it rapidly quick.
Yeah, I actually was first in that challenge. I finished first.
Good job,
This is thank you. This is a very common like LRG org challenge, which is where I know Lauren from playing live reality games and online reality games. So I have done this challenge in my sleep before. So when we had this introduced to us, I was like, oh, no problem. Like I've done this a million times. So that was really fun. But what people didn't think about is just how brittle that single piece of pasta was going to be and how it started to weigh down once you got the penne on there. It's actually a really fun comp. I had my family try it the other night.
Yoshi,
luckily
Sandra?
I had Sarah next to me. I think Sarah and Phil had mentioned that they had done it before or they had some kind of strategy. So that helped me out a lot. And I think I was like in the top, at least the top 50% when I finished.
Yeah, I finished mine right away too. I took the noodles when they said start, and I took the little penny and I put them a specific way so that they would fit perfect and slide into the pasta versus taking up a ton of space towards the end. So I did them like a little puzzle. I stacked them up, and then I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was done.
I, on the other hand, was like, do I need my glasses for this challenge? No. And then I go in and I'm like, oh, I'm cross-eyed. But I was definitely one of the top as well. I don't know how I did it, but I think I was just so overly focused. My eyes were like connected and I did it right away and I was able to get out. So I was like, yes.
Was it actually as close between the bottom two as we saw?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was intense.
It was crazy. Yeah.
And it was hard too, because if you're rooting for someone, like I was rooting for King David too and Arvin, but King David was way towards the front and they wouldn't let us go on the sidelines to help or scream for support. So we're way in the back screaming towards the front. So that one was a little tricky since we weren't able to just go around to different areas to show support. And we were just in the back with Arvin. But that one, it was tricky because it's so simple yet so damn hard. All of them are.
Yep.
Speaking of difficult, that's the perfect transition to move on to the bucket challenge.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'll let Sandra and Yoshi take this one away first.
I don't know. I felt like the minute we were on our team, we had some ordeals in our team anyway, because we had, I guess, people that weren't sure if they were purple or pink or whatever. But by the time all that was sorted out, we had our team. I looked at the other teams. I was like, okay, all the teams look pretty even. I really didn't worry too much about it. I had Yoshi on my team and I was like, yo, he's a stud. We got this. You know, we got this. And that's the hard part about the group challenge, is that you can't control anyone else's performance, only yours. And I know we gave it all we had, because then the next day we had to compete. We had to compete again. So we competed twice. And then we ended up going downtown once we got eliminated. I could barely walk. And Yoshi has proof of that.
Yeah, I think the main issue was probably too many captains of the ship, right? Everyone kind of wanted to take the reign. Everyone had their own ideas. And then I feel like we finally agreed to
A strategy,
but I feel like half the team was kind of iffy on it, maybe. So I think that was kind of the struggle. And then, so we lost, and then we were in the elimination round, and then we thought the next day would be the same game, but they changed it on us. So then we had to come up with a whole new strategy. And then we didn't have as much time this time, so that kind of threw us off a little bit too. And again, everyone kind of had their own opinions and how to go about it. So yeah, I mean, we were drowning. That we weren't even close. It didn't show in the show, but we were brutally eliminated. It was
Yeah,
it wasn't
and
even
of course
close.
there was players with limitations too. Like it was all around awful.
Yeah,
And then I went
it
to
was.
Germany, and Yoshi went to what was it? Rome? Where'd you go? Spain?
Yeah, I went to after that I was like, I'm gonna go travel. I went to like Italy, I went to France, Spain. So yeah, as you know, crappy as it was that we got eliminated, you know, there was some blessing to it where we got to travel.
Yeah. And you know what else I wanted to say? On our first challenge, we had gotten a penalty, and I thought that they were going to show where that penalty came from because I was dying for the clarification. Like, where the hell did that happen that
Yeah.
we had to throw our buckets of water out?
Yeah, I
But it
didn't even know that. Yeah, because we were close. That our first challenge, we were like maybe a bucket or two away, but then I had no idea we had that the penalty. So I would have loved to see that too.
So you guys would have beat me because I was against you guys for the first round. I was against them for the first round. I was in the turquoise. So it was between them and me to then move on to that final round.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know. So if you didn't have that penalty, then it would have been me turned around in the whole situation. The whole situation right here would have been crazy. So
it would have been different.
Yeah.
I just remember catching cramps in my legs because I was going down, but also one of my people in front of me, because it was on two different occasions and I can't remember which one, but he couldn't really get down and squat. So now I'm on like my tippy toes catching cramps in the back of my legs trying to come up and also get above her. And it was all around just jacked up. It was a rough situation, but I went to Switzerland. I went to Germany.
Yeah.
And then you have May sitting there smiling, going, "Yo, I crushed it."
I had a great time in that
And I'm
challenge.
happy for them. I really am. There were some people that were crying, and it broke my heart. And I was like, I felt good because I was like, okay, I didn't fuck that up. Like I gave 1,000%. So no matter where it went wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not one to be athletic or do challenges or anything. But I knew I had given my all, and it was, so I felt bad for the ones whose dreams went away, but there can only be one winner. So there's going to be 99 disappointed people.
True.
That's how Survivor is. Only one winner, 19 mad people.
That's true. What I found brutal though was they go, these two teams finished last, and yeah, we'll just make it even more difficult the next round just to like put them through more torture.
I felt bad for them. I actually felt bad because it was hard with one container. And I've never, like, I'm the least athletic, probably out of everybody. Remember me and Sandra together, actually, probably together. But my legs hurt so bad. So when we went back, when it was time for them, we were like, oh no. To see 3 that you had to fill, I know killed them.
The first challenge, the spout was like so small. So I was the anchor for that. And then the next day, the spout was a lot larger. So I was like, okay, sweet. When I'm anchor for that one, it'll be a lot easier, which it was. But we were so far behind that I didn't even get the chance to do anything really.
It was so hard to watch. Like sitting back there.
Because it was so close, I think in the first race, they changed it to 3 in order to show the separation between whoever came in first or second, because you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
They also had the issue with the ball getting stuck. So that happened to us too, because you can see me in one shot smacking it. So I think it eliminated that as well. So it was not even more visually interesting, but also it eliminated a lot of the issues they could have had.
I was talking about that with somebody else. Did the smacking, did that impact any teams for not like finishing before another team?
I think we were all in the round 2, the heat 2.
Oh yeah, we were
Not
finding
normal.
Heat too because Heat 1, people were when we had to switch out, people were upset, or like the person that Yoshi and Sandra, the team that Yoshi and Sandra went against, they were complaining. The reason we're going to the next round is because it wouldn't come out, and we were shaking it, and they broke it. Something broke that they had to fix it.
Reattach.
And then we were fine the next one, but that's when I think that was may have been Maze, but she was able to get it out, but they were having issues with it at first. So
yeah. Well, it's their first season too. By the second season, you'll see that whenever there's issues, I'm sure they're gonna test out all these challenges before you send people in there to do them, because you never want to have issues with the equipment not working properly or people getting eliminated due to like some kind of error in the challenge. So I'm sure they're gonna, in the second one there was no tube; it was just wide open.
Yeah, and I think they did a really good job with all of the calls that they made and the times that they made them. They considered everything. They would go back and watch tapes to see, okay, was this first or was this first? They would go down to the millisecond to make sure that it was completely fair before they officially made their call, or in some cases had people redo the challenge. So
Right, because when you have this many people, it's a split second. It could be for a finish, so you have to make sure you get that correct.
yeah, they did a really good job with that.
It's $1 million. That ain't no funny business.
right, exactly. They're not gonna chance anything. And like the lady with the rules, you look at her and you're like this. Like you feel like, remember when you used to get in trouble when you were little and you knew you were in trouble because you were bad? That's how I felt every single time. Like I did something bad when she's talking about the rules. I'm like, it was crazy.
I love it. Well, y'all, is there anything you would like to plug on your end?
Sandra?
I'm happy Survivor's on TV. I can't wait for the Traitors to start. Big Brother just finished.
Right.
Oh, Big Brother was grueling. That was a long season.
It was a good season, though.
Depends who you talk to. Depends who you talk to about that. Yoshi, any final thoughts?
I don't know. I feel like I gotta start watching more reality shows. I feel like I'm so out of loop whenever we have this kind of conversation.
No, you just gotta find something that you like, depending on what it is. You gotta find like maybe the Traitors is more your style, or the Amazing Race, or just. But not everybody.
I gotta just start Survivor season 1. I'll just start with that.
There you go.
Oh,
Start
no,
at the
You
beginning.
don't want to start with.
Don't start on one. You'll never
rough.
watch episode 3.
It's a lot different, Yosh. I gave
Oh,
Yoshi
yeah?
a crash course. Like that day we met Sandra, I was like, all right, we're gonna go watch the best of Sandra Diaz-Twine, the best of Cara Maria, the best of, and we went through and watched like all their highlights. And I was like, okay, this was an iconic moment because blah blah blah, and kind of gave him like a history of reality TV. So
I mean, Sandra's season, that's the best opening to a Survivor season I've ever seen. It's never been topped. So I always do tell people start on that because that's what gets you hooked on the series.
Season 7?
Yes, your season.
Pearl Islands. So it's crazy because Pearl Islands and Heroes versus Villains have been 1 and 2 for years. And that was a long time ago. They consistently are like in the top 3. And then I don't know, sometimes they say Kagiyan with Tony back and forth. So we're in my 2 seasons, that one and that one, because I have them autographed on the wall. They end up being on the top 3. And it's not just because it's me and they're both my winning seasons, but I think Rupert had an impact on both of those too, because he was another reason why Heroes and Villains and Pearl Islands was so good. But yeah, you could just watch highlights, Yoshi. You don't have to watch the whole season. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
spoilers.
Well, the new Survivor just started last week, so you can start there.
Oh, maybe I'll start with that.
See if you like it.
Yeah, see if you like it.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that one too. Too many things to watch.
That's right. You just pick one. Just pick one of them and start there, and then figure it out.
I have a tendency to always start something and not finish it and just move on.
Oh
So.
no, Yoshi, forget Survivor. Traitors.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Traders is good.
I'll watch
The
that.
UK version and the US version.
Mm-hmm.
Traitors season 2. Start with that one.
Traitors season 2. All right.
I love it. Dee, any final thoughts?
That I love my people, and I'm very happy that I went through this, and I'm sad about Sandra and Yoshi. That was a very sad moment for me, but I'm very happy that I met them and went through this with them and continue to have an amazing friendship. But I also want to be on Big Brother. Like, that's something I actually am going to try and go for, because I want to continue being on TV. I got my tickle on being back on TV again and seeing myself in Times Square. Well, not me, my butt, that I should have probably worked on more, but whatever, it's still there. But yeah, that's what I'm on a mission for next. So, yep.
Wait, I had no idea, Dee, that you were a Big Brother fan.
I'm not. That's
She's
the best
not.
part. Everybody just keeps saying I should be on it. So,
She would
and
kill
after
a diary room.
Well, you need to watch it because you can't just run up in that house and not know what you're doing, girl. That's
She would
almost
kill a
100
diary
I'm
room.
on a mission. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna do it. Because remember one time I said to her, I said, I want to do Survivor. And she's like, and I tell people that and they laugh at me because I'm the biggest, like, oh my God, bugs, this, that. But I'm like, for the people that are like a little diva like me and Bratty, I'd probably be fun to watch. So I'm not going to do it though.
If you go on and you make it, this is the one thing Survivor fans are going to come for you, Dee.
Oh, yeah.
If you go on there and you make it and you're like, ugh, I need shampoo, like I can't do this
No, I don't care
anymore, I
about
miss
the
my
shampoo.
dog.
No.
Do not
No.
quit.
It would, first of all, I'm not doing it. But if I did, I would not quit. I wouldn't be that bougie. I was just more worried about the bathroom. I had to ask her about the bathroom situation. That scares me.
Oh,
What
honey.
if they want to take me? That's scary.
I love you.
They have never aired anyone going to the restroom, so you're all set.
But
That's
isn't it
Survivor
Mike?
After
And what if
Dark.
they hear?
That's how they keep you quiet. Forget the NDA. It's the bathroom footage.
That's true. That's true. Okay, fine.
Oh my goodness. All right, May, wrap us up. Any final thoughts?
Perfect. Yes, I'm going to give a shout out to my social medias. It's at It's May Day with 3 Y's on all platforms, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And of course, tune in tonight to watch 99 to Beat. Episode 2 is coming out tonight. We have some fun challenges, some very colorful challenges. I know Sandra and Yoshi are no longer with us, but you still have 3 of the Fab 5 to root for and see who takes home that $1 million.
May,
love
by the
it.
way, one time I wanted to tag you and I could not find a Mizzle for nothing. And I was like, what
I
the
know, I
hell?
switched it.
Line. And then
I
you
rebranded. It's May Day, baby. It's May Day.
Should I say mine? I'm Real DTV. REELDEETEEVEE. Real DTV. All E's. Double E's.
Yoshi, Sandra, want to plug social media at all?
If they're following me, they're already following me. If they're not following me, they're not coming now.
They're always coming for you, girl. You're the queen. Yoshi.
Mine's Yoshi _Mori. So YOSHI_MORI 17.
Say it
All
one more
right.
time.
Yoshi _Mori 17. YOSHI _MORI 17. You were cutting out there a little bit.
I'm mad you knew
It's
that.
Hawaii. He's in Hawaii, people. He's in Hawaii.
Honestly, follow him for the sunset pictures because
And
they're
the topless shirts.
beautiful.
And the topless shirts. He's always
that's
topless
nice.
and there's a sunset. Come on. I mean, if you're not going to follow him, you're crazy.
I
All right,
love it.
Lauren, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you, May, Dee, Yoshi, Sandra, and we even got a cameo from Michelle. It was a pleasure to have you all on the podcast. It was so much fun. Everyone else, be sure to check out more interviews, more coverage on 99 to Beat. We can't get enough. And with that, everyone, take care.
Bye.